Hello and welcome to episode 2 of this tutorial series. Last time we created front and rear wing of our Formula 1 car. This time we will continue with the main body. We will try some new techniques, but mostly we will have fun. Let's get right into it. Open the blend file we created in the last video and you can turn the reference images on. You can hide the collection with front wing and rear wing and create a new collection which will be named main body. Now we will try a slightly different kind of 3D modeling by using a Bezier curves. Go to Add, Curve, Bezier, then switch to Edit mode. Select all, rotate it by 90 degrees by Z-axis and scale it to 0 in X-axis. Now we have the curve which is controlled by two control points located exactly in the center of the car. In the side view we will recreate the main shape. It's very similar to the previous work with the vertices, but right now you can actually see the curvature of the curve, it's not a straight line. You can move the control points by pressing G, scaling them by pressing S, rotate them, and work with them the same way as with the vertex. We can also extrude by pressing E, which will add a new control point to the curve. And we will try to do the same thing as before, and that's following the shape of the car nicely. When you take a look on the right menu, you can see a resolution preview. When we change it down to the 1, you can see that between two control points is only one line, one edge. By increasing this number, you are making a smoother transition on the curve. At the end, this will be the added vertices when we convert it to mesh. Now let's create a top view. Go to top view by pressing 7. Select this object, Shift D to duplicate and move it to the side and go to edit mode. Move the vertices to the position so they follow the main shape of the car on the side. What we are doing now is creating a simple wireframe. We are using the same number of control points between the Bezier curves, then we will convert it to mesh and fill the shape with faces all at once. If you need to add an additional control point between two existing control points, select both of them, right-click and subdivide. Bezier on these control points doesn't always have to be symmetrical. You can also select one handle and move it individually from the other one. That way you can try to create different types of transition on the control point. Once you finish in the top view, go to side view. Here adjust these control points to follow the side shape of the car. When you finish adjusting your curve, go to object mode and hide the reference images. Select both of these Bezier curves, go to object, convert to mesh. Then select both of them again and press Ctrl J to merge them. Go to edit mode and now we will create the faces between these two lines. Select the edges you want to connect, right click, bridge the edge loops. Let's go back to object mode and try another technique. Turn the reference images back on and let's create the front shape the way we created the wings in previous video. Select this edge, go to side view and extrude it in Z-axis. Then move the vertices to correct position according to side view. To create a side pod, we will try a different method where we will use a grid fill. First we need to create an outline of this side pod. Go to top view, select all of these vertices, Shift D to duplicate and move them to the side. We need the same amount of vertices on these lines, so later we can use the grid fill. Move the vertices to correct position in top view, and then go to side view and move them in the Z-axis to correct position in the side view. Once you finish in the top view, go to side view. And what we are following here are not the color lines, but the line defining the upper edge of this part. The reason is that we will have a sharp edge at the beginning and then we can bevel it. Now select all of these vertices. You can use the L or Alt plus clicking on one of the vertices and Shift D to duplicate them and move them down. We will create another leading line. Move it all the way down to the position where the body connects to the floor. Scale it in Z-axis to 0 and let's move the vertices to follow this line of the floor. I still want to have the same amount of vertices on all of these lines, but as you can see it doesn't follow the shape nicely, so I will move this up. The distance between them doesn't really matter. The amount must be same, so you can use the grid fill. When you are done in side view, go again to top view and move it to correct position in top view. You don't have a proper reference here, so do what you think looks good. You can scale them in the x-axis and then move just the front one. Alright, now we have these three leading lines and we want to connect them together. Let's select these two vertices and switch to front view. Connect them by pressing F and add 3 loop cuts by pressing Ctrl R and scrolling your wheel to add resolution to the loop cut. Now let's move these vertices. Try to follow the intake shape. As usual, the reference isn't perfect, so we can go back to object mode and move it a little bit down. Return to edit mode of our lines and move the vertices so they follow the intake shape. Then go to side view and move them to the position of the intake in the side view. And at the end, adjust them in the top view. Now let's move to the back. Select the ends of these two lines, connect them by pressing F and Ctrl R to add loop cuts. It needs to be the same amount of loop cuts at the beginning of these lines in the intake, so in our case it will be 3 vertices. Now select all of these vertices which we connected. Go to Face and Grid Fill. We have 4 edges in the front, so change the span to 4 and then change the offset. By changing the offset we are trying the best solution which follows our leading lines. This is exactly what we were looking for. And just like that we create a large area of our car. We will use the same approach for the top of the side pod. Select these two front vertices and connect them by pressing F. Add 1 loop cut, slide it to the side and then go to side view. Move this vertex down so it follows the end of the side pod where it connects to the body. Once you move it to the correct position, select these 4 vertices and create a face by pressing F. Then add a loop cut to this connecting line, move the vertices to the position you want, and go to back to connect end of these lines and create the same amount of vertices as in the front. Now go to side view and add several vertices here to follow this upper line, leading to the start of the intake. Simply add 3 vertices, move them to the position and create the faces between them. Now select this upper edge, select the edge on the side pod, go to Face, Grid Fill. And just like that we have a side pod. We will continue with the upper part. Go to top view and slide this vertex to the front by pressing G. Delete this vertex in the middle where will be the seat. Add a loop cut here, select this edge and extrude it in Y. Check the correct position in the side view and return to top view. Connect these 4 vertices, then return to top view, then select this vertex and extrude it to create this shape. When you add something in the top view, always check it also in the side view. Move it to the correct position and then connect the vertices to create the faces. We will create a headrest now, so select these 2, extrude them to the side and then move the vertices so it follows this cut on the headrest and then connect it to the main shape. We need to add a 1 loop cut here and then we can connect it. Then return to top view, extrude this edge, go to side view, move it to position, extrude it in the side view and return it to top view to extrude it to the back. Again adjust it in the side view so it matches the reference. Add loop cut here in the back, select all of these 3 vertices and extrude them in X to middle. Now move this middle line up in the side view to match the reference. Add a loop cut and try to create the top shape. And then add another loop cut and move it down to create this gradual transition. Now select this vertex when the headrest starts going up and from it extrude it to the back to follow the shape of the car. Extrude it the way that you are adding loop cuts to the same position that are on the top, so you can connect it later. Then go to side view and move them down to correct position. Now we can connect this. When we start connecting this, we will quickly find out that the number of vertices in upper and lower part doesn't match. To solve this, select this edge, press Ctrl B, and bevel it the way that you are adding a two loop cuts basically from this one edge. That way you follow the topology of the upper part to the bottom part and you can connect it without a problem. Now go to top view and let's continue with this upper shape. Again extrude it towards the back, then go to side view and move the position of the vertices. Then return to top view and extrude this lower part so you have another leading line which you can connect. Then you can create the faces. Again, I don't have the correct number of vertices here, but this time I can delete this vertex and then connect it. Then make the corrections as you need, so you see that the faces follow the shape. I know it may be boring for you, but take this as a practice. You are repeating the same steps so you remember them, and then you are better when you will be creating another model again and again. Now select this middle line with Alt click. Go to side view, Shift D to duplicate and move it up. We will create the air intake and then connect these parts together. Move the vertices to follow the top contour of the car. You can add the vertices if it's necessary. Then select this line, go to top view and extrude it a little to the side. We will create the little fin in the back, so return to side view and move these vertices to follow the shape of the bodywork, not the rear fin. Then select this line, go to top view again and extrude it to the side. Move these vertices in the back to follow the shape. Then select this whole line and go to side view. Extrude it down as far as it matches the air intake. You can scale it down in Z so it's more flat and move it again to the position of the air intake. Add a loop cut here where the air intake connects to the body. Select all of these vertices, go to top view and duplicate them with Shift D. Move them to the position of this contour leading from the end of headrest to the back. Then go to side view and move it down. Now you can connect these two edges. After that, move to the air intake, connect these two vertices, select this edge and extrude it to the middle. Then you can fill this shape. Create another bevel here and connect all of these faces. Now let's create the rear part. There isn't many reference images, but we will try to figure it out. Extrude this vertex to the back and move it to the position where should the body end. Then extrude this edge, move it down and connect it to the body. We will make these rear vertices more flat, so it creates a shape where the air goes out of the bodywork. Again, select this rear face, go to side view, extrude it down, scale it down in Z, and fill this face. Now let's select all of these rear vertices and extrude them to the back. Extrude this edge vertex to the middle and create a face here. Then you can fill these bottom faces and adjust the vertices the way you like it. Once you are done in the back, let's move to the front and finish this. We'll go to object mode, duplicate this top view reference image and move it to the front so it helps us more. Then return to edit mode, turn on the X-ray and move these vertices to the position. Select these three front vertices, extrude them down and scale them to 0. Move them a little bit to the front and then you can create this missing face. Then you can turn visibility of the front wing on so you can see where it's located. Select all of these nose vertices and move them back to the correct position. Then return to the side view and move these vertices the way that it follows the shape more nicely. Let's create the shape alongside the intake. Select these two vertices, extrude this edge and scale it down a little bit. And then you can connect it here. Then select this inside loop, extrude it, escape and scale it a little bit down. Then you can extrude it inside. We will do the similar thing to the air intake on the top. So select this loop, extrude it, escape and scale it down. Move it to the middle. Move it down a little bit and move the vertices the way that the outline have the similar thickness. Then select this loop and extrude it inside. Hide the references and let's add a modifiers. Add a subdivision surface and now let's move the vertices to finish this shape. Here in the front we have a sharp edge which we don't want, so select these side vertices and move them down to create a smooth transition. Here are wrong normals on the intake, so select everything by pressing A and Shift N to recalculate normals. On the position where we want a sharp edge, like this rear fin, select these two edges, press Shift E and drag a mouse to increase the weight of the edges. That way this corner will not be affected by subdivision modifier. We will also use this in the area of the cockpit. Just select the edges you want sharper, Shift E and drag your mouse. It won't work everywhere for you. Somewhere you will need to add a loop cut, like here in the area of the intake. Now turn that modifier on and let's move to the cockpit area. Select this vertex, extrude it down and connect these four. Adjust it the way that it matches in Z axis. Then select these three, extrude them down in the side view, scale in Z to 0 and connect this side face. Then select this whole loop, go to side view and extrude it down. Scale to 0 in Z axis and move it down. Use Shift Ctrl Alt S to shear this edge. Turn the subdivision back on and add weight to these edges to define the sharper edges here. Go to Object Mode, right click, Shade Smooth. Now let's finish the front nose, where are sharp edges due to the loop cuts we added before. Just move the vertices the way that it creates a smooth shape around the front nose. Once you finish that, we can add a mirror. Add a mirror modifier, move it before the subdivision and turn the subdivision off. Go to Edit Mode, turn on the X-ray and select all middle vertices. Scale them down to 0 in X and move them to the middle the way that the mirror connects these two sides. Now you can turn the subdivision back on. Let's make some adjustment to the air intake. Go to Edit Mode, add a loop cut here. Add a loop cut to the outer edge. Then let's go to side view and let's move these vertices down so it creates a nicer shape towards the back. Okay, that looks better, and now we can connect the bottom of the front nose. Turn the reference images back on and select all of these vertices which we will be connecting towards the middle. Hide the references, go to bottom view and extrude this in X-axis. Scale it down to 0 and move it to the middle. Then add a loop cut here and connect the front faces. You can move these vertices more to the front and then this side to the middle. Let's also fix this, go to side view and let's move these three vertices up. Now let's go to the bottom, extrude this vertex, go to side view, move it down, and fill this face. And add a one triangular face here. Turn the subdivision back on, move this vertex to the back, and we can go to edit mode. Let's turn on our wings and take a look on the model. We have some error here on the rear fin. It's not a problem of the mirror, but a problem of the shading. So to fix that, we can add a loop cut here. Also, there's not a correct mirror on the intake, so go again to edit mode and move this vertex the way that it connects to the other side. Now go to Material tab and add Material Carbon Fiber and rename this object to Main Body. Last thing today is to add a halo. We will create it as a separate object and then merge it to the main body. Let's just quickly change this line because I don't like how it follows. We can make it more smoother. So go to edit mode, select this one and add it a little weight. We can add a weight to this back one as well. Okay, that looks better. Now add a new mesh, plane, move it up, add a loop cut to the middle and delete one half. Then go to top view, hide the main body and let's create the shape of the halo. Just add loop cuts and extrude it the way that you create this shape. It's nothing complicated that you didn't done before. Scale these two vertices to 0 in Y axis, add a loop cut here, and extrude this all the way to the back. And add one more extrusion, which will go more narrow. Now let's go to side view and let's move these vertices to correct position. You can turn the visibility of the main body back so you see what you are doing. Now select these faces except the ends and extrude them down. Move these vertices to the front, then turn on the X-ray and delete the faces which we don't need. And as you can see, we need to fill the upper part. Fill these two faces and now we will gonna create the front shape. Select these front vertices and extrude them in Y. Move this vertex a little bit to the side, then go to side view and move it to the top of the body. Turn on the X-ray, move these two down. Then select this front edge and extrude it in Y. Move this vertex to its position and now we can fill this face. Hide the reference image and then extrude these vertices towards the middle. Scale them to the 0 in x-axis, move them to the middle and fill this last face. Now let's add a subdivision surface. Select everything, Shift N to recalculate normals. And we will need to add several loop cuts to this. This way we will clearly define the edges. Okay, now let's go back to object mode. Select main body and disable modifiers. Then merge the halo and the main body together. Go to edit mode and let's connect it to the main body. As you can see, we are not following this exactly, so we will move all of these vertices to the side. Now we will delete all of these faces and bridge it to the halo. Most of the connection looks good, we need to fix the front. We will delete this edge and connect the bottom directly to this shape. Then we will also add weight to these edges. That would be the back of the halo, and now let's connect the front. We will slide these vertices to the front with double G and then slide these towards the middle. Delete this face and connect the main body to the halo. It looks quite good. Let's fix this middle, just select these two faces and move them down a little bit. And then do the same with this main edge. And that's it. Just like that, we finish another part of our Formula 1 car. Save your file with Ctrl S. You can turn the visibility of the simple scene on and then switch to render mode to see your model. And that's all for this video. Next time we will create a floor. Hit a like if you like this video and subscribe for the following part of this tutorial series. Thank you for watching and see you next time.